Hey, how's it going on? In today's video, I'm going to walk you through my desktop setup for programming and show you where I code my real-life web applications and websites, and also where I create my web tutorials, where I create my projects for my YouTube videos, and also my crash courses. I actually planned on creating a crash course this week, but it didn't work out. I'm going to get into that just in a couple of seconds. And I'm also going to show you the difference between what kind of setups I use for coding on projects, on personal projects, on real life work, and also why I use a different setup for coding for courses, for my courses. You know, I have courses on Udemy and Skillshare, and I do use a different setup for those ones, not because the setup is better for coding, but it's better for a specific type of coding, that is for teaching. Okay, so I actually planned on recording a React crash course, which is also going to include a workout project as a web application. But sadly, this happened yesterday, so I got, I got a bit of surgery done. Nothing major, I feel fine, but I can't keep my hands too long on the keyboard because it hurts. Well, the operation is pretty fresh, so it hurts. I went and changed my bandages today. So they look pretty good, but I do have to sit out a week, entire week, that is. So without heavy lifting, my keyboard is extremely heavy. So I thought to myself, why not show you how a good setup can work, and also a budget setup can work for each and every one of you, and also share my personal setup. I'm going to also give you a couple of tips on how you should set up your personal coding environment for you to have the best results. You don't need a lot of money, and you also don't need anything fancy to code. Okay, this being said, let's jump into the video. Okay, so let's get started with my monitor setup. This is a Dell 27-inch 4K ultra sharp monitor. I do most of my editing on this. Then up here I have from Elgato a key light, and a webcam, a 4K webcam, but that's not recording webcam, but I'm using that for live stream. Now up here, there's a cable. Didn't do anything with it, is where what is my sound dampening. Now down here is my precious MacBook Pro. It is the older versions, 2020 version, so it's doesn't have the M1 key. Now I have a really simple Logitech keyboard, gonna come back to that a bit later on. So I'm not using a mechanical keyboard because of the sound, clack, 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 clack. And here we have a mouse. Now this mouse right here is 14 years old. Now down here we have a table that lifts up. I'm not using it that much anymore because I did fix my back issue through training. Well, who would have thought that actual movement will help my back? Okay, so this is my main working area. This is where I do my coding, not my tutorials, but this is where I do my coding. This is where I do my actual work. This is where I create websites. This is where I create web applications. And this is also where I do my live stream, as I said. And I'm mainly using the PC setup because it's much, much stronger. Now down here, we just have a monster of cable management. I'm not going to go into that now too deep. The setup is as following. I'm using my Windows machine mainly for coding and really hard work, so really high intensive work. Why? Well, because when you have 1,000,001 tabs open in Google Chrome, because as you know, we web developers really Google everything and copy and paste everything, then the applications on my Mac will not work properly, especially if I have animations. Because my Mac is using its power from its graphic card by grabbing onto the RAM from my hardware. So when it does that, then the animations are getting jiggery, and I just can't work that way. So I'm mainly using my PC for high intensive work, for doing a lot of research, and also, as you saw at the left side, I have my Mac and I have my Mac opened, but I'm doing mainly research stuff or looking through some kind of specific video tutorial if I forget something, and I only have a couple of things opened on the left side. So my main working area is then the PC. Okay, now let's move on to my Mac. Now the Mac is set up in a different room. As you can see, I moved it back in here. And let's get started with that. And then I have a keyboard from Apple. It's extremely silent. I love typing on it. And most of the tutorials that you see, and also most of the courses, are created here. Down there I have a Scarlett, and then the Mac is hooked up to a monitor, and here is where you can hear me right now. My beautiful sound is from the Shure SM7B. Okay, so there's my Mac, there's my microphone, there's my keyboard, and there's a Scarlett, and there's the widescreen monitor. And I do recommend this monitor for each and every one of you. This is a really budget monitor. You can buy it for roughly $400. It doesn't have the best colors in the world, but it does its job, and you can code from it perfectly. Now I'm using this setup mainly because, well, you guessed it, it is exceptionally good for creating content. Why is it good to create content? Well, it's because it's plug and play. The sound that I'm getting from my microphone is far better without using a huge, without giving out a lot of money on sound system. You can see I only have a Scarlett down there. The sound is exceptional. Just microphone, Scarlett, plugged into OBS, and you're good to go. So I'm mainly using the Mac because the quality that I'm getting out of my Mac for teaching is much better than that I'm getting from a PC. This does not impact my coding skills, and it also doesn't impact the quality of code that I deliver, but it does impact the quality that I'm delivering by teaching. So this is why I'm using a Mac for creating content and a PC to create the work for that content. So I hope you can understand that. Really quick, a budget setup, as I promised, I would suggest a simple laptop, a simple Windows laptop, and a widescreen monitor, really budget widescreen monitor, and you will get a exceptionally good result out of that, believe me. You can also use a keyboard from your laptop. You don't need the external one, and you can use the touchpad from your laptop. You don't even need a mouse actually, and that is really the basic budget setup for coding. Now you do need two monitor setups, and this is why I am recommending a widescreen and a laptop, because you can watch videos and tutorials on one, and you can also code on the other one. Okay, so hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, share it with others. Sharing means caring. Also, if you have any kind of questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. I do get back to each and every comment. And with this being said, catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.